record on computer. Okay, so I think we're recording now. Let's go to supply chain execution.
I'm gonna repeat what you did.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna show some basic transactions, and then we're also gonna go through how to modify the screens to, make them look the way the user might want to see them. So let's go to supply chain execution.
Okay.
Go to inventory management.
Why can't my brain see it? There we go.
And let's go up to the tasks, and we'll do a manage item quantities. All right, so this is a good point to point out that you can do what's called save searches.
Okay.
And so if a user is used to coming to this screen and they're used to looking, just at what they want to see, then they want to be able to save that query so they can come back and rerun that same query. So let's put some stuff in here that we would save. So let's put in an item. One of the items that you've made.
I haven't made any because they all got wiped.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. For now, I think there's items that start with like CM1. Try that. Do a search on that. All right. So yeah, pick
Door
something.
lock.
Yeah. Yeah, it may not be any of those in stock. Come down to organization. And just pick Atlanta and do a search on it. Let's just see if it finds anything. Okay, so there aren't any of those. Do a search again. It deleted the item.
What?
Yeah, your item went away.
That ain't my fault.
Well,
I pressed search.
all right, cancel this. Let's just not put in an item.
Okay.
Let's put in a sub inventory called stores.
It won't let me look. Okay.
Okay, now do a search on that. Oh, come on. There's nothing in stores. Try Seattle. Change the organization.
Oh.
You'll have to put stores back in there.
Oh my Lord.
How is there no quantities? That doesn't make sense.
Do I need to go make an item?
No, there should be stuff on hand. Try change the organization. Try Dallas manufacturing.
Okay.
Something's wrong. It's not. It's like there's nothing in. It's like there's nothing in this system.
I don't think there's anything in the system.
Hit done and come back in. This is just wrong. This is not right. And go back into the screen. Something's not right. Hit search. Just go down, hit search. Okay, put in an organization. Put in
Let's try Chicago.
All right. Don't put in a sub inventory. Just leave it. Okay, good. Finally, I was getting to wonder there.
On
Okay.
DVD.
Hmm.
I'm picking this one.
Well, we're not going that far yet. Go
Okay.
back up. Go back up to where it says advanced search on the left. Remember how I said we're going to save a query?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Click. Yeah. Okay. So put sub inventory equals stores and go in and do your search. All right. Now let's do something else. Where it says add fields over to the right, we're going to modify this query. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. We're good with that. So go back to advanced search. I'm just trying to get a few things in this query that kind of make it unique.
It's just taking a long time to load.
Yeah, so go to add fields. Let's see. Scroll down. Uh, go to on hand. I want to see what that field is. Oh, it's already there. Never mind. Hit X. I didn't want that. I was wanting something else. Go back to add fields.
Hold on, it's loading.
It'll get there. Scroll down some more. I want to try to find something interesting.
That's as far as it goes.
Okay. Uh, I'm not finding anything that's terribly interesting. Go to view item quantity by. I'm kind of curious what that one is. All right. Oh, we already have that one. So close that one out. All right, never mind. Anyway, you get the point. You can add fields to this
Uh-huh.
search query, and then you can use selections of those fields to redefine that query to make it more.
How often do you add more that are not already there?
Uh, not many. I mean, Oracle's thought through this. They've kind of put the typical stuff that you would see, and that's why it was hard for me to find something that uh, that wasn't already there. All right, so let's say we want to come back and we want to do this search again and again. So we want to be able to save this search. So down there where it says search, reset, save, hit save. All right. Um, all right, so we're going to create a save search. Now we're going to give it a name. We're going to say 003 stores 003.
You said, oh.
Sorry. Now we're not going to check run automatically, but let's change it to set it as the default and then click OK. Okay, now click done and we're going to get out of the screen and then we're going to come back. Now come back into the screen. And see where it says save search?
Yeah, it's
Now
already on it.
it saved your search and it saved the values that you have.
And then you just press search.
And then you just press search. If I'd have checked run automatically, when you come to this screen, it would have brought that
Automatically
up
done it.
and automatically done it.
Okay.
Now, the bad part about running automatically is that if somebody's not too up on their game and you know they're saying, well, I come in here and it just brings up these values and I don't know how to change it. Well, if they If they don't know how they've set it up, then that can be a problem.
Yeah.
But you can see
But you
how,
just go back to all item quantities, right?
oh yeah, you just go back to all item quantities. Matter of fact, go back to
Okay.
all item quantities. I think what it'll do is just bring up the search. Well, go to advanced search and click on it, and it'll probably all be blank. Yeah. So that's a nice feature when you think about it, because you might have people within a company, their their role or their job is very specific about around a few things, and by being able to uh, set up these searches, it gives them the ability to just stay focused on those things, and it makes it more automatic for the user. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that you can do is if you come over to where it says view, over in the results down in the lower left there, view drop down.
This one?
No, view where it said
Oh,
the,
okay.
yeah. See where it says columns? Click on that. Okay, go to quantity and look at the list. All right, well, it's really showing everything.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so usually in a lot of these search screens, you may have a lot of columns that may not be seen, and you might want to add some of those columns. But let me show you something that you can still do here. Um, if you go to you can change the width of these columns, and you can change the sorting of these columns. So get move out of view right now. Well, actually, go back to view. I'll show you something else you can do. See down where it says reorder columns? Okay, you might want to see you might want to see those in a different order, but there's
In
only th
quantity.
well, there's only 3 columns, so this isn't a really good example. There's some other screens where you might want to reorder things. So hit cancel for now, and
Well,
I'll,
quantity would make sense if like you're trying to find the highest amount of stuff you have.
yeah. Um, for instance, I was thinking, if go back to view, I'm wondering if we can hide receiving. Yeah, uncheck receiving. And uncheck UOM conversions. And go back to view, go to secondary quantity, and uncheck all of those.
I don't like that it closes it out.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I think if you hit the block, it might, instead of hitting the, no, I think you just got rid of item. Oh, you got rid of item description. Go to secondary quantity. Yeah, UOM name. Okay, so now you've made this a lot simpler. Um, so this is the way you want it to look every time you come in. So if you go back to view, and I think right now you've kind of frozen everything.
Okay.
So I think if you were to come back into this screen after you close out, it would still look like this.
Okay.
So let's test it.
Save.
Hit save, but I don't think there's anything to save. Just hit OK. Go to done. Okay, let's come back in. Okay, you'll notice your save search went back to the 003 stores.
Hmm.
Okay. But it saved your column structure. See?
Yeah.
So that's one of the nice things about Oracle. If you don't like, how it looks or the order of this, you can change it. And if you need to make it simpler for the user, because I've literally had users complain, it just shows me too much stuff. Um, you know, and you get stuff like that. Well, what's secondary unit of measure? Well, if somebody doesn't want to answer what that is, then just hide it. You know. Okay, does that all make sense?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's a couple of other things you can do in this screen. If you highlight one of the items, just one, and go up to actions, you can actually do transactions against an item. For instance, yeah, you could request a miscellaneous transaction. Oh, you got to go down a level. That makes sense. So, you're going to have to drill down. You can't just pick the item. You have to go down at least to the sub inventory. Sometimes you have to go down to the locator. Okay, there's no locator, so you can go down to the sub inventory. All right, so now if you go to actions and do request miscellaneous transaction, all right, you'll notice uh, down in the transaction lines, it's hard to see it, but your item is there. If you go hover over yeah, if you click that, okay, so that's the item that you had selected. All right, so up there where it says type, you're going to do miscellaneous issue. Actually, do an account alias issue. Maybe there's some account aliases set up here. Use current item cost, set that to yes, and set the source, hit the magnifying glass. So let's see what we've got. If you just do a search there, oh, there probably aren't any. Oh, there's one. Okay, use that one. All right, so you don't have to put an account because we're going to use whatever account's associated with that alias at the top there. All right, this thing's not lot controlled. It's not serial number controlled. All we have to do is come down to the line and give it the quantity that we want to issue. So if you
Okay.
click on the line,
This.
actually, because it's grayed out, it's going to choose everything that you had selected, which I think was around 100. I don't, let's see, available quantity 99, on-hand quantity 100. Okay, so it's not going to let you. Okay, go over to actions. I want to just see if there's something there. Do edit because it should let you change this. Yeah, yeah, change the quantity to 10. Otherwise, it would have, let you send everything out that you had there. All right. So if you do a submit at this point, it's going to take 10 out of inventory and issue them to that account.
Okay.
So do a submit.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why would I take 10 out and just issue them to an account? There could be a lot of reasons for that. Because you can set up aliases, account aliases for a lot of things. 10 of them might have been defective, so you might have wanted to issue them to a scrap account. Or they might have needed 10 of them for destructive testing, so you could issue them to a destructive testing account. They might have had 10 more in stock than they may have done a count and there were 10 less than what was showing in stock. So you have to, adjust the inventory count to what they should be.
Okay.
All right. So you'll notice the change. See the on hand change?
Mm-hmm.
So now there's 90. Okay, let's just say you wanted to reverse that. So you
Okay.
could go to actions, do a request miscellaneous transaction. And where it says type, you're going to do a receipt. So you're going to do an account alias receipt. And you could, if you wanted to, if you already knew the alias, you could just type in US here.
Go ahead and do it like this.
Okay. And I would come down and do another actions edit. And put in your quantity of 10.
And then submit.
And submit. Okay. Now it's going to take us back to our query screen. And now we have 100 again.
Okay.
So is that all making sense?
Pressing all the buttons and stuff makes sense. It's just implementing it into an actual company and understanding where I'm sending it and receiving it.
Yeah, I mean that's all going to come in. Like I say, these types of transactions, it's good to know how to do them, but they're not the typical transactions. The typical transactions are receipts from purchase orders to bring material into stock and picks to sales orders to take material out of stock.
Okay.
But these other transactions I'm showing you are just some transactions that you just need to know how to do. And you need to know how to manipulate the quantity on hand. Because a lot of times when you're doing implementations for a company, they may want to, you may be in a test instance where none of the stuff is real, just like we are today. And they may say, well, I'd like to work with transactions, but I don't have anything in stock. And the guy that does purchase order receipts isn't around. So you say, oh, well, I can just do a miscellaneous receipt and we can put stuff in stock. So you need to know how to do those things. So and they're simple, easy transactions. So it's good to be able to show you.
Okay.
So click done and let's go into another area. Click your tasks and review completed transactions about in the middle there.
Review.
You
There we go.
completed transactions. Now, before we go anywhere, I want to show you a little bit about navigation. See that star up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's your favorites. So if you click that,
It'll put it in my favorites.
it'll put it in your favorites. And, this is kind of handy because you can come back here and say, oh, shoot, I don't want to have to navigate all the way down to that again. So if you just do an add to favorites, it will put it in there. Now, if you want to create a folder, you could create a folder and say called all my inventory screens. No, that's not the folder.
What do you
Delete
mean?
that.
Oh,
Oh, now you've lost your do
cancel.
cancel.
It's ridiculous.
All right, you got to click the new folder. Hey, 90% of this job is just knowing how to do things. The other 10% is why you do things.
Getting upset by the way that they put this together.
Well, uh, the good thing is they'll probably change it someday.
Okay, what am I calling it again?
You can call it my inventory screens. All right, now if you do a save and close, go back up to your favorites and you can see it. Yeah, go to my inventory screens, and there it is.
Okay.
Okay, so as you find other screens that you like, you can drop those in your favorites as well.
Okay.
Like I say, I don't use it much because, you know, doing what I do, I don't really, I'm going from instance to instance and all over the place. So I can't really carry my favorites with me anyway. But I need to know it so that I can teach users who are going to be stuck in this system for years to come. So, so it's good to know how to do this.
Mhm.
Okay, so it defaulted you into organization 3, which is good. And it also defaults in a date, which is today's date. Um, an item is required, but let's just try and see. Hit search and see if it forces you to put in an item. Okay, actually, it didn't force you to put in an item, which is interesting because that's got double asterisks by it. Usually means you have to put in an item. But you see those two transactions?
Hmm.
Okay, those are the ones that you did. You did an account
Okay.
alias issue, you did an account alias receipt. You notice it recorded the quantity and it recorded you down to the minute that you did it.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll scroll that bar over, it also recorded all this other stuff. And this is actually a very good form to show you how, saving how you want the form to look works. So if you go over to view columns, you can see that there are actually a few things that aren't shown, but it's showing you almost everything. And that's fine. You may want to see everything, but you may not like how it's arranged. All right, so get out of view and let me show you how you can rearrange the columns. Well, there's one way to rearrange the column. You can go to view, rearrange the columns, or reorder columns. And let's just say you wanted, scroll down to where it says user, or I don't know if it says user or the person who did the transaction.
It's not even in alphabetical order.
Yeah, it's not. It's in the order the columns are in. I think it might be a requester.
Okay. Does that
Uh,
bump it to the front?
yeah, you can move it up to the front and then just say okay. Did it move it up there? I don't see it up there.
I clicked it.
Scroll over.
It's right there.
Oh, wow. It moved it over there. Oh, I didn't want it over there.
Okay.
Well, and it's not showing us anything. Scroll over to the left. I want to find the one that actually had click requester. Yeah, move it down some. I don't care.
Okay.
All right. So say okay.
I moved it back over
Now,
here.
okay. So scroll over to the right. I was looking for the column that actually had a name in it. Yeah, created by. All right. So go back, go to view, reorg columns, go look for created by. Yeah, there it is. All right, and move that up to the top. Okay. So you see the point. You can rearrange these to what you want and make more relevant information appear on the left as opposed to hidden off the screen.
Yeah.
All right. What else can I show you? Well, this might be a good time to ask some questions. Is this kind of working out? Are you kind of getting the idea of it? I know we're still a far way from getting a good global picture.
I mean, like I understand the buttons and how to reorder things and how to use the certain buttons for certain things,
Mhm.
but like it's the whole like implementing all of it into an actual company and understanding
Yeah,
it that way.
right. And that takes a lot of time. And it's hard to start that from the beginning without, just teaching you some good navigation because if you don't know how to get around the application, then showing you how to do all the setups it can be kind of cumbersome and difficult.
Yeah.
Um, but let me see. Let me hang on a second. Let me see if I've got yeah, yeah. Stop sharing for a second. I want to show you something I have. Okay, so share screen. All right. So a lot of times when I'm working with a new client, this is what I come to. Uh, and this is a program that I use a lot is Visio. And basically it's a flow charting program. So if I've got a new client and I want to set them up, I know I've got to give them an item master organization. I've got to give them a cost organization and a cost book. And I haven't talked about those yet. We'll get to those. But inventory organizations, that 002, 003, all that silliness,
Hmm.
these are my inventory organizations. So I can say, okay, I want to create this Northgate distribution center. This is the warehouse that the all the grocery stores that belong to Northgate get their goods from.
Okay. And the item master organization, that's what the company gives you concerning that things that they do have in the warehouses they have.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. In the item master is basically all the stocking units, the item, the part number, all of that, all that, all those are the same thing. It's just it's items, it's part numbers.
Okay.
That's where those go. But then, just like you saw today, we had quantities in stock. Well, those quantities that go into stock, they go into these organizations.
Hmm.
So this client asked me, they said, okay, we've got inventory that we manage, and we have to have it divided into logical areas. So this one is the warehouse. Inside the warehouse, they've got refrigeration areas, they've got ripening areas. I didn't know this, but all the bananas that come in to grocery stores, they go into a ripening area because they're green. and they have to stay there until they're ripe. So they actually have a section of their warehouse portioned off just to ripen fruit. So all of those are going to go into sub inventories. Now we've got to figure out what those sub inventories are. We don't know just yet,
Okay.
and I'll work with them on it. And then amongst those sub inventories are things.
I don't know how to set indoors to that setting.
Oh, Alexa, shut up. There are things called stock locators over here. And these stock locators, they indicate a shelf location. And usually, not always, you have a rack, row, and bin. Sometimes you have an aisle, rack, bin. Sometimes you have aisle, row, bin. It varies. I always just ask them, tell me how you manage your shelf location. How do you divide it up? And that's usually what they tell me. And then I'll set those up. And I'll teach that to you later, because you have to set up all of this stuff. You have to set up the inventory organization, you have to set up all the sub inventories, and then you have to set up all the stock locators. And I've actually already got videos on those, but I'll go through them all with you.
Okay.
And then they also said, well, we have a maintenance inventory area. And in this, they manage like 48 stores. So they have a maintenance area where they keep refrigeration equipment, spare doors, spare tables, spare shelving, all the stuff that you would need to make a store function, and maintain. They keep in that inventory, and then
Okay.
they keep it they'll have a sub inventory called main stock, and they may or may not have shelf locations. We'll see. Also, for that business to run, they have an IT staff, and that IT staff maintains all their cash registers, all their barcode reading guns, all the servers and store computers and stuff like that. Even the stuff for the offices where they have laptops for the office workers and such, they have to maintain all of that. Well, they keep an inventory, and sometimes they have to keep inventory location just for new store assets, because they have to buy all the registers and equipment ahead of time and then stage it for creating a new store. They also have, just their IT infrastructure, which is, some of the servers they keep to run their business. And then they have, sometimes they keep IT stock at the different stores themselves. So you might have sub inventories for each of the 48 different stores. They also have 5 vans that they send out with equipment in them that has repair material in it, for, new monitors, new keyboards, new mice, things like that, so they can go out and fix things from time to time. So those have to be set up. And occasionally they have some third party supplier offsite stock where they, buy stuff, they get a good deal for it, but they don't have a place to put it. So they'll tell their supplier, keep it and we'll put it on our books, we'll pay you for it, and then when we're ready, we'll let you ship it to us. And then they also have, maybe we'll see, a main stock area. So to figure all of this out, I have to ask questions, and I have to say, okay, I'm going to set up inventory for Northgate. Tell me where you keep all your inventory. Tell me how you divide your inventory. Tell me what your inventory's for. And then I have to figure out where all of this stuff needs to go. And I set up this Visio diagram to show it.
Okay.
And I've already talked to Stephen. We'll get Visio along with the Office Suite installed on your computer so that you can, do all of this stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Is there anything else on here? No, this is the finance structure, and I don't know. It's not going to tell you a whole lot, other than when the finance team goes into Northgate, they have to have legal entities, ledgers, business units, and subledgers. So none of this stuff is real or tangible. It's all virtual.
Yeah.
This is all accounting,
Yeah.
and I really don't do accounting very well. But we have finance people that do all that because I can't set up any of my stuff until accounting does their job, because my inventory orgs have to report up through, well, I don't show it on here, but they have to report up through their business unit.
Yeah.
So until they get their business units set up, I can't create my inventory orgs.
Okay.
So does that help some with the big picture of things?
I mean, yeah, but not like putting things in. I know what the structure looks like. It's just a matter of
Well, right.
actually
And
doing it.
right. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to show you, this is how you set up an inventory org. This is what you have to have before you set up an inventory org.
Yeah.
This is how you set up a sub inventory. This is how you set up your stock locators. And this is how you you already know how to put items in, and you already know how to, poof inventory in. So, these are things that you'll pick up. You're not going to pick them up overnight.
I
This
know.
takes a while. So, I think if I teach you the navigation and then take a little time to show you the big picture aspect of it, that might help you put it all together a little easier.
Okay.
All right, let me look at my list I have for you. Let's see if there's anything else we can cover. I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover. I already showed you how to export data out of the forms. You just don't have Excel to really do it properly.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think that's probably enough for today. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.